boys, welcome back to What's the Subbuteo show with myself, Frankie, and my good mate there, Martin Bradley. How are you, Mr. Bradley?
All good, you know me.
All good in the
Never a
hood.
complaint.
Nah,
Never a problem.
it's not the
No
same
issues.
not being in the shade together this week. Hello. I prefer it in Skype.
It's nice to have a bit of company round.
Was Derek was a great guest on the show. I didn't get to mention last week because we were in a wee bit of a out of place, but the week before we had Sean Dunn, who was actually fantastic as well. Great guest and
Lovely.
nice fella as well. This week we're sponsored by Hovis, the old Hovis bread for the fantasy football praise. Talking to Derek last week after the show, Derek was mentioning that he thinks some of the people that he's interviewed for the book, people think we're very inclusive.
Inclusive or exclusive?
Exclusive. We don't feature enough solo stadium builders, collectors.
We think that's a load of shite. That's why we don't feature it.
Well, it's not even that there. I think we try to feature as many new people to the game, and it'll show in our interview this evening. We have went through quite a few guys, Dave Hunter, Thomas Regan, try to get them on the show, Cowerfield, Kev Halliday, and can't get them. These people are shy, they're new to the game, they play a wee bit, they collect, they paint. You don't want to come on the show?
Dave the Save is Subbuteo famous now, for fuck's sake.
I know, but he still won't come on. Still can't manage to get him. Anyway, here is a new segment on the show, which gives everybody a chance to get their whatever they do on the show. So this little section is now called MySpace. So if you want to send in your home setup, your pitch, where you practice, where you play your games, if you want to send in your painting studio, your solo pitch, same as a attacking normal pitch that normal people play on. Or if you
don't be entertaining that crowd. Don't be entertaining that crowd. They have their own things they can go to. Their own forums and fucking revival groups and fucking...
Well, here's a chance for people to show what they have.
The ruination of the game.
Well, here it is. Here's this week's MySpace.
Over the marketplace.
There was one in the gang who had scale extric, and because of that he thought he was better than you. Every day after school you'd go round there to play it, hoping to compete for some kind of championship, but it always took about 15 billion hours to set the track up, and even when you did, the thing never seemed to work. It was a dodgy transformer, again and again. A dodgy transformer, again and again. It was a dodgy transformer, again and again. A dodgy transformer that cost £3.10. So he'd send his doting mother up the stairs with the step ladders to get the Subbuteo out of the loft. He had all the accessories required for that big match atmosphere, the crowd and the dugout and the floodlights too. You'd always get palmed off with a headless centre forward and a goalkeeper with no arms and a face like his. And he'd managed to get hold of a Duke Prague away kit, cause his uncle owned a sports shop and he kept it to one side. And after only 5 minutes, he'd be down to 10 men, cause it's sent off your right back for taking the base from under his left winger. Come to half-time, you were losing 4-0. Each and every goal, a hotly disputed penalty, so you'd smash up the floodlights, and the match was abandoned, and the dog would bark, and you'd be banned from his house, and your travelling army of synthetic supporters would be taken away from you and thrown in the bin.
There you go, folks. That's this week's MySpace. Thank you very much. That is a great space. Moving on rather quickly to fan favourite, Mr. Barry Spence with Barry Says.
Hi folks, just doing another video for Marnogo Lawrence. Just wanted to cover off situation where if your man's fallen down. This sounds like a really simple one, I suppose, but it can be a little confusing for some people. So many games you play that your man falls over, and your opponent, or even some of us, really just go like this just to make it really easy and flick it up. So you've basically gained half an inch there. Where your player should be put up should always be used. The guide should be that where it's actually touching the pitch, on the periphery of the base. Should be lifted like that. That may seem pretty pedantic, but when you're in a shooting position, you know that half an inch makes a massive amount of difference. So you need to be really strict about it. A referee should always stop a game. If your man falls over, the referee should always stop the game. You shouldn't continue playing if a man's down. Basically, the referee should always stop the game and insist that a player gets put up before play continues. This basically automatically allows the defender to take his block, in that situation. So play should continue, and the defender should be able to carry on with his block before the attacker continues with his play. The only situation where that doesn't happen is if the ball's moving. So if I flick this guy here and he falls over and the ball's still moving, I can still play. I can still play the ball without having the referee to stop play. The only time the referee stops play to lift the player is when the ball stops. If the ball's moving, the attacker can continue. One thing that Fist of Rules doesn't cover is if you're playing and you hit the ball and it hits a man that is down. Now, I suppose in theory, if you had a referee, the referee should have insisted that the play was stopped to lift this guy. If you played on, with the ball having stopped on a previous move, and you've played on, and then the ball has hit your player that is on the ground, I would interpret that as a foul against the attacker, and possession and a free flick moves to the defender. If anyone's got any other debate on that, please contact the boys, because it's a little confusing, because it doesn't get covered in the Fist of Rules, because the Fist of Rules basically just say referee stops play to lift a player. It doesn't say anything about what happens if it doesn't get lifted, because in so many games that we're playing, we don't have referees. So that isn't an allowance in the Fist of Rules, because the Fist of Rules basically say you always have a referee. So for me, in that situation, if the ball has stopped and you've played on and it's hit a player that has fallen down, then I would say change of play and then free flick. It's a free kick to the opposing team. However, if you've flicked and the ball's still moving, and in the process you've hit the ball when it's still moving with another player, and it's hit that player who's down, I would say possession still is retained by the attacker, because the ball has continued to move, and the need for bringing a player up is forgotten because the ball's still moving. You should only insist that a player the play is stopped when the ball is stopped. Yeah, I mean it's a bit confusing, that one. It's hard to explain, I suppose. But if anyone's got any sort of take on that, that's certainly my take. But if anyone else has any additional take or any information on that, please let the boys know. All right, folks. Cheers. Bye.
Thank you, Barry. Cheers, my friend.
What have we got in the big jug tonight?
From the Stella.
What about this? Look.
How's your wine going down from Derry Swain? You on Derry Swain yet?
Derry Swain's well down.
Same as mine.
Same as yours. Found these in my fridge, but.
What is it?
Oh, beer Moretti, some Italian thing.
Some man must have left them in your shed.
Somebody must have left them in me.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Right, let's go over and see how we're all getting on with fantasy football. We'll go to the top race. European Championships. Gage Badger is top of the table with 334 points. Chris McManus is 324 points. Thomas Regan 323, so there's only 11 points between them three. Frank Tank is in fourth. Jared Parsons is in fifth, 307. Dylan Berry, 301 points in seventh place. Simon Stewart in 15th. Well done, Simon, playing well.
Well done, Simon.
Maggie's Eyebrows, Paul Pearson is in 17th. Stephen Gorman is in 18th. Let me see. Mark Weaver is in 23rd. Brendan Ashley's dropped to 25th.
Shit the bed, Brendan Ashley.
Big G is in 34th. Alice is in 37th. I'm in 40th. Barry Spence says is in 55th. And second from bottom is Martin O'Brien.
I have some boy with a explanation mark beside his name. If he's injured or something. Like an exclamation mark and a wee orange triangle.
Injured?
Injured?
Yeah. You need to take him out, replace him, something, put him on the bench, do something. You need to sort yourself out. You're going to the dogs here.
We were all in that first week when it was flying high.
But listen, I'm going to send you some help right now. Right? We have somebody who's going to step in for Oisín. I know that's why you're struggling. You don't have Oisín. So for 1 week, possibly, maybe 2, maybe 3. But for this week, you might know him as Eoin Adams. Some people might know him as My Oyster. But for this week, he's got 1 hot minute. So here is Eoin Adams.
Ooh.
1 hot minute.
I was too hot, baby. I'm too hot to handle. I was too hot. I'm too hot to handle.
Here are my tips for who's hot for week 6 of Fantasy Premier League. In goal, Bernd Leno for Fulham, top scoring goalkeeper so far, facing Crystal Palace, who've only scored 6 goals in the first 5 games. In defence, Estepinian of Brighton didn't play last week after his excursion to Ecuador for World Cup duty, but he's freshly rested, facing Bournemouth, who've only managed 4 goals in their 5 games so far. Also Sven Botman of Newcastle, high scorer last year, back from injury and facing the winless Sheffield United, he should be guaranteed a few points. In midfield, Brian Mbeumo from Brentford, top scoring midfielder so far, very good value, and facing Everton, the only team so far to have dropped points against any of the promoted teams. Berechi Eze of Crystal Palace hasn't done the business this year, though he did well last year, facing Fulham, who always concede a lot of shots, if not goals. And up front, Julian Alvarez from Manchester City, second top scorer after Haaland this season, facing Forest, which should provide him with a few goals. That's it for now. See you next week.
Thank you, Owen. And maybe get you back again next week. So, Bradley, take his advice, change your team, get the hot players in. We're done away with that who's not, because there's no point. Owen, who is currently sitting in 14th place in the fantasy football. So, well done, Owen.
He knows what he's talking about.
He knows the stuff. He definitely knows the stuff. Right, do you want to introduce our guest?
Ladies and gentlemen, this kid's only new, but everybody knows him. Comes in like a fucking wrecking ball everywhere there's a table. Frank, the fucking tank Connolly.
Come on, Frankie. Come to the show.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Frankie, how are you, mate?
Good. Yeah. Good.
I hear you're a wee bit under the weather.
Yeah. Well, I'm up to my eyeballs in Uniflu and whiskey, so I'm grand.
Are you on having a wee goldie right now? Are you?
Just one wee one. Just one wee one. That's me for the.
Cheers. I take it you'll be watching some Glasgow Celtic this evening.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to it. I just seen the team announced there, so a couple of changes. Happy enough with.
Happy days. Have you seen Craig Stewart in a while? No.
Haven't seen him in a long time now. To be honest with you.
Seen him. Even after last night, Cliftonville beating Crusaders and stuff, I thought I might have heard from him, but not a word. None. Frankie, you're not new to Subbuteo. You're one of our new festive members, players. You've been playing the last couple of years. You're really starting to take off in the game. How are you finding
it? In all honesty, I absolutely love it. I just love the camaraderie between everybody. Everybody's so happy to see each other. Doesn't matter where you're from. I think Lawrence fell over there. I think everyone's there to try and help you improve your game. It's great crack. And you know what? I'm a bit of a nerd as well, so all the angles and geometry of it just suits me down to the ground.
You love that shit, Frankie.
I did see you asking, Bradley, what's going on with your screen?
What was that?
I don't know. Did you see that there now?
Yeah, that was like I don't know, it was like a lightning strike or something. I don't know what it was.
Jesus.
That happened.
That's them UFOs.
Mexican aliens.
That happened.
Yeah,
I did see you at the weekend chatting in the group chat asking about different approaches for different matches. So you are a bit of a nerd, aren't you?
Yeah, totally. I look at like I see obviously the level I'm at now at the minute. I'm just really approaching how I'm learning different bits and different pieces. And I watch the elite guys. I'm watching them on YouTube quite often, and I think, my God, how do you even approach these guys? Do you for me, I would obviously try and sit back and just defend, and then hit the counter. But where do you some of these guys are just lobbing it in from every direction. It doesn't really matter what you do.
Some of the only times you're going to get the ball off these guys is either for a goal kick or recenter in a game.
Yeah.
Some of them are incredible, but when you get a chance, you end up shitting yourself because you're thinking you haven't touched the ball or you haven't had a flick, and then you get your chance and you foul or you do something stupid. That's
right.
But you're going to find that out soon when you go to the Europa League.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that in months. I can't wait. Actually, I can't wait to see in person this standard. Like, obviously, there's the Champions League above that, but even the standards of the guys in the Europa League they're just going to be, to me, out of this world. I mean, obviously, I'm only learning the game, but that's just where I'm at the minute. Have to just keep learning and learning.
What do you like at taking heavy defeats? I know you played the team event for us at the IO, and you played with a bad back, and you were subbed at half time, but you were losing. But how do you feel when you're getting beat heavily?
Oh, I don't take it well at all.
Do you not?
No, not at all. No.
You seem to take it in your stride.
Loser. I try my best. I try my best to like take it on the chin, but inside I'm raging. Like, I'm absolutely So angry. But then at this stage, I put it down to a learning experience. But see, in a few years' time, whenever I'm playing that little bit longer and I know a bit more about the game, you'll probably see me getting thick.
You'll get bitchy, do you think?
Oh, I think so. I think so. I'm a bad loser. I've always been.
So how do you get on? How do you get on when Sean
Hey.
beats you? Obviously,
I
Sean.
win this.
Sean. Well, Sean hasn't beat me in a while. I played him there a couple of nights ago, and I beat him 3-0. So he's in a bit of a huff about that.
So he's got your temperament.
Oh yeah, he might be even worse.
Yeah.
Sean,
This boy's your best smoker.
huh?
This boy's like your right hand man.
Oh, the
I'm
monkey.
surprised to hear.
The family
I'm
heirloom.
surprised to hear you're not. I thought you were going out of your way to get the monkey.
Oh no. Oh, I'm just that bad.
Hey, don't be offended if you get the monkey. It's just one of those things.
No, well, I'll take that on the chin. That's no problem.
I was.
But even those nights in we have in Derry where everybody gets together, there's no arsiness or no assholes going to it. They're all enjoying themselves. They're all just wanting this, and it's good for the mental health. It really is. On top of everything else, like the nerdiness and the competitiveness, it's just really good for your own mental health and just getting out there and meeting people and having the crack with them. That kind of way.
And you're a mental health nurse, aren't you?
That's right. Yeah, I've been working as a psych nurse for 14 years now. I'm currently doing a CBT course, like a cognitive therapy course, to hopefully go on and be a therapist. But that's where I'm at the minute. Yeah.
So you can see where it can help people. Me and Martin talk about it all the time, and we've talked about it in the show. That it is a great way of just getting out. He calls it, what is it you call it? The man shade thing.
Absolutely. I was thinking about this today. Yeah, because I don't know if the North or that have the likes of the men's shed, but
We do.
yeah. So like obviously we have it in the South, and it's a great social kind of outlook for men. Men kind of sit in their house and don't really socialise. I've got mates that I haven't spoke to in years. I know if I pick up the phone to them and chat to them, it would just be like I spoke to them yesterday. But men generally don't talk. They kind of, especially if you're a wee bit isolated, they generally just don't. They don't look.
Yeah.
Men are tough not to crack. Women will chat away all day.
Especially now that you're in playing Subbuteo and you've got the cabin up there, and you've got the opportunity now to say to some of your mates, why don't you come around and give Subbuteo a wee go, and you might like it, and take you out of the house for a fucking couple of hours.
Yeah, I've been onto them. I have been onto them, but it's a tough nut to crack at this point.
It's a hard sell.
Mm-hmm.
It is. There's a lot of people it's like there's like a stigmata against it. People don't want to play it because they don't want people laughing at them. Whereas if they just fucking get down with it and just say, right, I'm here to play, give us a go, they'll have a bit of crack.
Yeah.
Hi,
no, I absolutely. And you know what? I didn't really think competitive Subbuteo was a thing until I seen the likes of Brendan playing, and obviously he spoke about it before, but even then I was kind of hemming and hawing, and then eventually went down that rabbit hole. And once you go down that rabbit hole of Subbuteo and you start learning about bases, learning about different players from all around Europe, and start I'm still learning every single day about different things that are going on in the game, and where in Germany and Spain and Italy, Greece and all this, and England. Obviously, I've met most of the English boys who were sound. I have to say, to be honest, they were,
for being English, like they're all right, aren't they?
Oh God, yeah. So yeah. Really loving it, absolutely loving it, and I mean, I guess I'm only back playing. Would it be 2 years I'm playing?
I'd say you're only at least 2 years.
Years. So I mean, realistically, the amount of friends I've made in those 2 years is just would never happen elsewhere.
Yeah.
It's like and you talk about like even the teammates that we have now, and I'm yet to meet Marco. and like I met Gareth, he's a gentleman. Jason's a gentleman. You know, really like kind, and they'll help you along. They'll tell you, you know, this is, you shouldn't be doing this. You should really be thinking about that, and completely changing your outlook on the game and stuff. You know, it's really is fantastic. The support network of all these guys is incredible. Really is.
Yeah, and it's not even just in our team. I mean, if you go to an event and play somebody and they know they've got the better of you after 4 or 5-0, they're going to start coaching you. A lot of people are good enough. They'll say, look, don't do this, don't do that, or they'll come to you at half time. And sometimes I see people getting chatted to by a better player who would be just starting out. And sometimes you can find it, you might think the other person's finding it a bit patronising. You know, someone coming up to you at half time and going, oh, listen.
I'll tell you what, Martin was the most patronising first fella I ever met when I started. No, but like I mean,
he's all frozen.
Did you hear me there? Did you?
You all right there, Bradley?
No, you're all frozen.
You're having a Trailblazers moment here.
Couldn't hear you.
So no, he was just going on about the feeling of being patronised whenever somebody's good at the game and trying to teach you how to play it. I'm just saying that you're probably the best at that.
Patronising bastard.
No, but absolutely not. You have to learn from everybody when you're starting off. You can't go in there and do your own thing because these guys just absolutely wipe the floor with you.
Aye. And I mean, you've really, I would say you played for about a year with us, coming and going. You weren't regular. You weren't there every competition because of your work. But in the last year, you've really started putting in the work. You know, going to all the competitions down south. You've been abroad. You've been to England twice, hasn't it? You've been to England?
No, just the once. Obviously, I'm going to Mons, and then we go to Scotland, then in Glasgow, then in February.
So you're getting into it. You know what I mean? It took us a long time to make our first trip, and then when we made our first trip, it took us nearly a year to make our second trip. So you're doing rightly.
Well, it took us a year to make our first trip.
It took us a year, and then we didn't travel for a year until we went to Wolverhampton.
All right.
So I mean, he's in the deep end already.
Hey,
he's fitting.
Magic.
At my age now, you have to throw yourself into the deep end because you can't sit back there and look at it. You have to just go, right, I'm going to dive head first into this, because if you want to get anyway good at all, you have to just do that.
Yeah.
You know, and I look at some of the young ones that are coming through, and I think, Jesus, they must be playing since they were knee high. Like, you know.
Oh, no. Like even
Most
the likes of wee,
brilliant. Have been.
The likes of wee Daniels, even fantastic.
Brilliant, and do you know what? He's a wee gentleman as well. He is getting very, very good, and he competes with all of us. There's no like, we're going easy on him because he's a young fella.
Oh, not a chance.
Absolutely not.
We Daniel's very, very good, very, very good. It's all practice, and he's keen, and he enjoys it, and he looks at it as if it's cracking. It's a game, and he's just getting better and better. But he's not changing himself. You know what I mean? He's lovely to be on to play.
He's a good lad. He is a good lad, in fairness.
I made the mistake of in the IO thinking I had him beat 2-0 in the team event, and he came back at me in the second half and scored 2 goals in a minute, leveled it 2 each. I was like,
he's lethal.
Fucking hell.
He's a wild man for coming in the wing and getting through. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Score.
That's your move, Bradley.
He actually hammered me in Derry. Pretty sure I went 1-0 up in that game, or maybe I drew to make it 1 each. But he ended up beating me 5-1. and that was the point where I was going, well, maybe I'll get a point off this young fella because these guys are going to hammer me. And then Daniel just wiped the floor of me anyway.
It never works like that. See when you set out and think, right, I'll get points here and I'll get points there, and I should come second in the group or third in the group. It never works.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the last 2, apart from the last one we played, you beat me 2 in a row at the Derry Club. 2 1-0s, 2 nights, 2 events in a row. And I didn't see it coming. Each time I was thinking, that's my banker. I'll get 3 points there.
Frankie,
there's no such thing.
Who's a patronising bastard now, Frankie?
What's this?
No,
What
I'm trying to say is,
what was that?
I don't know. It's like wee bubbles.
When you
Scratch myself.
when you think about it, when you think you're going to get a nailed on win, now the standard of the club's gone up. Everybody's getting to the same level. Not everybody at the same level, but the bottom is coming up. You know, there's still that gap between the top, between Bradley and Kenny and Barry and Farrell. If Farrell shows up at a club night. But I mean, that gap's harder to close. But
Mick O'Brien's very good.
Mick O'Brien's very good.
I think
played in Italia 90.
What's that?
Mick O'Brien's not new. Mick O'Brien played in Italia 90.
Is that right?
Aye, when he was a kid.
He was shit hot. And then just took a big long break. But now he's fucking...
Yeah. I refed him against Daniel, and there was a couple of things he done where I was like, oof, you know, just quick movement, finding the angle and just going for it. You know, there's no hesitation whatsoever. And I thought, this guy's a lot better than I thought. Like, you know, that he really is. You would know that you'd know that he was playing for a good while before.
Mick O'Brien's very unassuming because he comes up, he approaches the table very relaxed and chilled out and chat away to you, and you just don't think. And then he plays, he's fucking ruthless. He's ruthless. I remember thinking, right, Mick's a nice fella. It'll be a nice game, nice to play against. Wallop me 3-0. Fucking hell.
To be fair, I'm yet to play him, but I've watched him play a few times. Refed one of his games, and I thought, oh, he's a good player, very good player.
Very, very good, very, very good. After Mons, what are you going to do? Hang up the box or keep playing?
Well, I'm definitely not going to be taking a scorecard with me to write down the scores. It'll be backs to the wall job, I would say.
Okay, you'll be reminded by them. Don't worry.
These are all going to get humped over a Mons. Gareth might not get humped. He's not going. Right. Everybody who's going to Mons has got. Mark will get humped as well when you go to Mons. Everybody's going to get humped.
Yeah.
You just go play your own game. Do as best as you can. Work on your own. There's no point in you trying to match one of them boys.
Yeah.
And there's no point just sitting back defending either. Keep your defence. Just do your ordinary defence. But when you get the chance, go for it. You know, them boys are really good. But the reason for simple things, all the touch up, they're getting their angles, their defensive blocks, they practice the shit out of all that. So they're really good at the basics. And when you're really, really good like them boys at the basics, it just comes fucking natural. And then it's the flow. And they're not racing up the pitch at you. They're flowing up the pitch. And as they're flowing smooth, it's harder for you to, because you're on the back foot, you know. And then when you make the mistake that lets them get through.
Yeah.
If they're playing somebody the same as them, they're playing the same way they're playing against you. But the defense is coming up against them, it's tighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they have to work a bit harder than they would against you, or me, or Watson.
Yeah.
But don't change your own game. Just practice your own game.
Yeah.
There you go. Words of wisdom, sir, from Sir Bradley.
There you go. They can't forever humping, boys. You know what I mean?
You just take a back seat for Mons. You don't want to get a humping.
Oh. But then, there's no magic on it. You know what I mean? And it's all practice. And it's a length of time playing. You're playing boys that never took a fucking break from they were 6. You know what I mean? Now they're 48.
I'm watching a YouTube video of Flores playing, I think last night maybe. And it's almost like a dance watching him. He's in rhythm. Everything's in rhythm the whole way up the pitch. So it's really, really incredible to watch. Like, you know, when you get somebody that's so in tune with the game. But I guess I'm only getting used to playing the game, getting used to the sliding, getting used to everything, angles and all that. And then after that, it becomes a game of chess, I guess. You're kind of blocking off and you know, it's such an interesting game. More men should really be playing it, to be fair.
Oh, you know? People don't understand how good a game it is.
Mm-hmm.
They just see you flicking wee men. You know, that's all they see. Flicking wee plastic men. Yeah. That's all they see. So definitely worth getting into. I was going to ask you a question about, since you've been in the game you're new to the game. What's the biggest shite bag move you've ever seen in Subbuteo? So my shite bag move that I seen was playing against a guy, and he had a defensive flick for an onside flick or whatever it was, and instead of trying to flick up the pitch, he flicked off the back of the net behind my net, which meant he re-centered on the halfway line. To me, that's just shite bag.
Actually,
Right.
I
That's
actually
all
quite
right.
like that.
That's
I think I
viable,
might
mate.
use that myself, Lawrence, to be honest with you.
I think it's shite bag.
That's all right. Who did that? He
I won't give
was
his
he
name.
Irish. I know
No.
who that was he Irish.
He's English. Of course he's English. He's English.
All right. That's a viable move. I think that's all right.
I-
That's not a shit bag move.
I've noticed a few times where especially when there's no ref, where somebody will double flick, but they're already played away. So maybe I'm a bit too nice when I'm playing the game instead of calling somebody back.
Oh, yeah.
That annoys my head, and then I'll get thick, and then I'll be like, and I'll be thrown off completely. And I guess there's times where I'll be playing well, and I'll one thing will annoy me, or some person will annoy me, and then I'll lose. The head will go, and 90% of the time it's up here, isn't it? It really is up here. If something goes against you, you really need to just recenter yourself.
It's,
you know.
I remember when we first started, I remember running to him all the time after matches. He fucking double flicked or he finger fouled, and I never called him. And he scored from it, and he would just went, "Oh, you're too soft. You're too fucking soft. You have to pull them. You have to pull them."
He
Yeah.
should be
Start
pulling
it, if
himself.
you have to start a whole fucking row, you start a whole row, because if you see it and they don't call it, they're cheating bastards, and that's basically it.
Fair enough.
You should be calling your own finger fouls and your own double.
You should be
There's no
calling it.
referee. You
Yeah,
should be calling yourself. You know.
I do, but like it gets annoying then when somebody else doesn't on their own. You know, that kind of.
I would normally let it slide if it was somebody new. Do you know what I mean? If for somebody only playing a year or only there at the club maybe 2 nights or something, and they double flick, I'd just say play on, or you wouldn't even address it. I'd just say, maybe next time that was a foul after he's had his chance. You finger fouled there, but I wasn't pulling you. If you go to a big competition, they're going to pull you straight away, and that's the best way to say it to
That's not
somebody.
the best way. That's not. Where's the benefit? Where's the benefit? Say Frankie's come in brand new and he's double flicking and he's finger fouling, and you let it go, and then Frankie goes and plays somewhere else, plays somebody else, and he double flicks, and somebody says, "Hold on a minute, okay, you're double flicking."
Oh, I would say to him
and
after
then
the
he's
game. I
on
would
that.
say to him
After the
after
game's
the
no
actual occasion.
If you were playing poker with somebody, you wouldn't let them away with throwing out the wrong card and picking it up. Do you know what I mean? It's the same. You have to. It's not hard. Everybody a finger foul accident. Do you know what I mean? And it's your own spatial awareness.
Yeah.
If you're rushing your hand on the pitch and you're banging somebody with your elbow or rubbing somebody with your hand, that's your fault. You have to learn not to do that.
What I'm saying is, you don't want, if somebody shows up at a club night, first or second night, and you're going, "Oh, that's a foul, that's a foul." You don't want to discourage them. You want to keep them involved. So you let them play it, and then you say to them after the game, "Look, you're doing a wee bit of double flicking, or you're doing a wee bit of hitting your player on the way through the flick. You need to watch it for the next time." You don't want to turn around in the middle of a game and go, "Foul," and they'll just end up.
But there's ways and means of doing things. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to say foul, fucky, very kissy, mate.
Getting back to the point, when you were saying about what was it? Shape bag moves, was it?
Yeah.
I noticed a good few seasoned players double flicking and not calling themselves on it, which is irritating. Like boys that are playing way longer than I am.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like, oh well, maybe I don't know the game as much, so I'll just go with the flow, that kind of way. Whereas I should be obviously calling them.
Call them. Doesn't matter who you're playing. Doesn't matter how good they are. If you're letting them away with something, they'll take it.
Yeah.
That whole thing. See, when there's a referee there, boys, when you're getting up the levels, boys will not call themselves. If there's a referee there, they'll let the referee do it, and if the referee doesn't see them, they'll batter on. Part of, do you know what I mean? It's part of the game. It's like a bonus for them if the referee doesn't see it. But if
Yeah.
you've no ref, or if you're there, or if you're playing somebody, fucking pull them, man. You don't have to be ignorant about it.
That's
Fair
it.
enough. Yeah. Very true.
Frankie, we're going to have a wee look at this week's goal of the week, and hopefully there's no finger fouling or offsides involved in this week's goal of the week. So here is this week's goal of the week.
Laisse encaisser, emmène dehors. Bien, Rem. C'est 2-0.
Francis, in your
Hello.
ever burgeoning professional capacity, could you please choose goal of the week?
I think they're all three are very, very good goals. I like the finishes in the first two, but I have to give it to Ruby, even though you might go, oh well, English, whatever. No, and I'll tell you another thing, right? Derek Eyre picked a team or a player his own goal last week, but I have to say, Kyle's goal the last time around was just absolutely fantastic. I've watched it over and over again. Kyle Jamieson, that should have won that. Like, and obviously, I mean, if I've got a goal in the goal of the week, I'm going to pick my own goal too. But Kyle's is class, really class. But Ruby's top notch this time around.
Well done, Ruby.
Ruby's one of ours.
Ruby's was a class.
Ruby's been with us since she was on height, and now she's getting
Yeah.
up to there.
Taller than all of us.
Ruby's goal was great, and she was brilliant in that whole competition.
Yeah,
Right the
I
way
see the
through, her
results,
composure,
definitely.
everything. The results are speak for themselves.
Yeah.
The
Well, I
second
stand-
goal in that against Justin Finch, if you watch that, I swear he curls the ball. If
I know,
you
but
watch that second goal, I swear
I'll watch it
he
again. I'll watch it again. Yeah.
curls the
to
ball.
the untrained eye, it's just a chip shot.
Yeah, chip shot in the bottom corner. Yeah.
But it looks like it goes around
Around.
the keeper. It's like as if he's hit it and it's curled in. I don't think that's possible, but if you watch it again and look, because it looks like it's round. He sits, he looks at it, and he plays himself. Finch has his keeper set, and he just, and it's from, he's a good
Yeah, it's
4
a
inches.
it's
It's
a
a
hard
good 4
angle to
inches
go
away
from.
from the ball.
Well,
But
Frankie,
really,
you
superstar.
picked your goal of the
You
week.
picked.
Frankie's
Fuck
picked the
the
goal of the week.
Frankie.
Frankie, we're going to have a quick look at what's in your box. So here is Frankie's what's in your box.
With the box. Who's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
Okay, lads, this is my what's in the box. So I did have this box originally, but this is now Sean's, my young fella's box. So my teams essentially consist of, I have some yellow arrows. I have Argentinian Capani bases. You can see them there. I don't know if it'll zoom in. These are amazing. And I have to give a special mention to my Joker team that were made by Jason Christopher, which are absolutely incredible to play with. But he warned me not to play with them, and I broke one. So I also have two goalkeepers and a couple of balls, and this might be the most underrated cloth ever. The players fly after that. And as a bonus feature, I'll show you Sean's. Sean has well, his goalkeeper's out, but he's got Boca Juniors and a Celtic team, both on arrows, with a wee bit of wobbly polish. So that's it. That's what's in my box.
Frankie, lovely box. Obviously, you're constantly buying new bases. I don't want to say too much in case the wife watches this with you, but
She'll not be watching it.
Don't watch it.
This will be the last thing she watches.
Delusion of grandeur, this boy here.
Yeah, I'm cutting out the buying now. This is me. I've found the bases I like, and I think I'm finished by it now. If I am going to buy any more, I'm going to sell first because I've far too much. Although, you know, there's one that I'll just never sell, and that's the Jason's Joker team. Just
Can't sell that.
Although he warned me a few times not to play with him, and I broke one the other night. So.
You fucking, what do you break? Which one?
The Joker with the nurse's dress on him. That's, you know, the one that comes out of the Black Dark Knight with the exploding. I done
that as my Halloween costume last year.
Class. Brilliant.
Insert photo here. He told you not to play with him. What are you doing playing with him? You've about 90 teams. They're on terrific bases. I got like extreme energy bases off Alan Lee, and the like purple bases. They're just absolutely terrific to play with. Why don't you buy a cheap set of purple bases off Little Plastic Men and put them in there and then get a Fiorentina team or something done? Looks like it. I'll have to do that. I think I've got maybe. I don't know if you can see them. Don't know if you can see this guy. I mean, they're just like, it's green and purple bases. Like, they're just so perfect for it.
They're very jokerish, aren't they?
Yeah. So.
Well, I would take the figures out, put them in an old set of bases, put them on display, and then play with the purple bases.
Fair enough.
But when you're selling your collection, get the shirt.
Where has he broken the knees or the hips or the feet?
Feet.
That's all.
I'll fix them for you.
Fix them feet.
I'll fix them so that you can display them. You'll not be able to play with them.
Fair enough.
Frankie,
yeah.
what's your dream set of bases you have now? Which is the ones that you're using? I've
got Argentina on Capalni 2s.
Capalni.
And they're just a joy to play with. They really are. Like it seems that I can control the players or the ball way better with them than anything else I've ever used. And I was using arrows for a long time.
Very chunky.
They're just a wee bit heavy. Just kind of knock the ball a wee bit further than you want to, you know. So that's where I'm at now. Between that and the extreme bases that the Jokers are on, which are terrific as well. I'll need them. Yeah. Get them Jokers off.
Right, boys. It's been an absolute pleasure, Frankie. I'd like to thank you for making your debut on the show. Maybe soon you'll be on, get your hat trick ball. It's been a pleasure to have you on, and obviously you're making great leaps and bounds in the game. Keep up the good work and keep flicking. Thanks a million, lads. Appreciate it. Right. We'll chat to you soon, Frankie. Bye. See you later. Bye. Frank the Tank, thank you very much. Absolute legend. Obviously, we're going to have some match highlights. So here is this week's match highlights.
Right, are you ready, Stu? You're ready, yeah? Stop. So he's moving the banners. Yeah. Okay, so let's look, everybody. I'm seeing this. I think you are. Okay, good. One, kick off.
Thunder
Good time. Applause.
Bradley, thank you very much. Good match highlights. Obviously we're going to go to this week's results. So here is results. Before you start, here is news from Germany with Fred Auersbau.
So, news from Germany, boys. Ja, guten Tag, Servus, Grüß Gott. Moin Moin from Germany. So, the news that we have is basically the European Championship in Gibraltar from a German perspective. Unfortunately, on Saturday, no German player besides Victoria Boasing could reach the playoffs. So, Victoria got in the female category and unfortunately lost 3-2 for Delphine Dodon. 3-2 was a tight game, but was the only German that reached the playoffs. Yeah. Highlight for the Carlos Flores final against Silvério Bari. You guys should watch on YouTube. Just type Carlos Flores, Silvério Bari in YouTube or whatever. It's a great game. He went to the Sun Def, and Carlos did a great goal in the end of the second half, but unfortunately was disallowed. And if you check the footage, the referee, Marc Gauci, was right. And it was a great goal. He screamed, he was on his knees, he celebrated, and he said, I don't care about looking at the camera. There is no video assistant in Subbuteo. And he stayed with his guns. And he was right. It was respect for the referee in the end. But Carlos got his golden goal in the end. So, well deserved. Carlos, European champion, full deserved, like always. On Sunday, both German teams went well. So, ended up third in both of their respective groups, in the Open and the Veteran. The ladies also played a final against the Belgium team. Unfortunately lost, got second place. In the Open, we beat Gibraltar and got a chance to play for a fifth place against Portugal. A very, very strong Portuguese team who got us not a chance, but was a very, very good experience, especially for rookies like me and Noah that play on the Open team. On the veterans, was also very good for the German team. We beat England, and I think it's very important for the English that. But yeah, and then we had to play against Gibraltar, and we just one goal short against Gibraltar to qualify for the semi-final. So it was quite good for the German national team as well. Great experience. Highlights for the final: Italy against Belgium with Luca Battista. He was on my group in the first day. He was actually my first opponent on the weekend in Gibraltar, and he's just a killer, really, because every single time that he has a chance to score, he will score. He's going to take his time. So it's not going to be a wonderful goal, shot in movement. No, he just prepares for the goal, goes for the throat, and he nails it. Golden goal, Italy, European champions, also in the Open and Veteran category, and most of the other youth categories as well. So it was a big dominance for Italy during this European Championship in Gibraltar. Yeah, hope to see everybody next time from news from Germany. Next stop for us in Germany here, and especially our Hanover boys, will be in Frankfurt, where we're going to play the DSDFB Cup, which is the German Cup. And let's hope for the best. And that's all. See you next time, boys and girls.
Thank you, Fred. Right, Bradley. Give us some results there, Bill.
We're not going mad. European Championships happened in Gibraltar last weekend. Some fantastic matches. Group 1.
Can I just say we were Well represented, Derry City Stable Football Club. They're represented with Jason Christopher and Marco Bevilacqua.
Marco Bevilacqua, indeed.
We also have
We're gonna-
former Derry City player Fred Auersball there.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Still one. Once you're in, you're in.
Still Derry.
Still Derry. Once you're in, you're in. Our Jason, tough group to start off with. World number 1, Carlos Flores, topped his group with 3 1s out of 3 and 30 goals scored. 4 conceded. Jason finished bottom of the table with he got a draw. Very good. Must have been against Lawrence Alvarez. Wolfgang Haas coming in second. I
He
played
got
Lawrence
a 3-3 draw or something.
I don't know, did he?
I think so.
He scored 6 goals, so he scored against Carlos Flores, which is fucking an achievement in anybody's books.
Big time.
Lawrence Alvarez, I played Lawrence in Glasgow when they humped me fucking 9-0. Yes, Fred Auersball, yet again, bottom of his group, unfortunately. Christophe Durr from Belgium, topped the table there. Justin Finch coming in third, and David Gonzalez second. No surprises in Group 3. Savio Barry, top of the table. Mark Gauci, wanker, we don't talk about him, was top of his group, which left our poor Marco Bevilacqua bottom of the group with 3 losses, but sure, played well. Chris Thomas,
I think he lost all his games 7-1.
Oh, did he? Well, that's all right. That's consistent.
I know, consistent.
Our good friend Alberto DiMaggio, Greece, finished top of his group, Group 6. Brilliant. Belgian, Sebastian Sheen, topped the table in Group 7. And Martin Hodge from England coming in 3rd place. Very good. Well, Christian Haas, who's coming to play with us in IO next year. First name on the board. Topped his group, 8. Here we got Elliot, the God of the Beautiful Fountains, came in 2nd in his group.
Well done, Elliot. That's a great achievement.
Well done, Elliot. Done well. Remy Hume from Belgium, top in his group. He's a fantastic player. He scored that number 2 goal. What do we see? There's a playoff setting. Elliot then goes down 7-1 to the 19-0 legend, Matteo Ciccarelli. Hard lines, Elliot. We all know what that's like.
I'm getting that 7-1 t-shirt, mate.
Chris Thomas went down 2-3 to Remy Hume from Belgium. Some match between David Gonzalez and Michael Caviglia from Italy. 5-4 to David.
Jeez.
Coming in then, last 16, Flores 3-2 over Matteo Ciccarelli.
Oh.
You can't fuck a Flores, man. Can you? No matter who you are. David Gonzalez goes out 5-2 to Samuel Bartolo from Malta. There was a draw between Remy Hume from Belgium and Mark Gauci, the wanker. And Gauci then took a 2-0 shots. Alberto DiMaggio went out 3-1 to Antonio Jesus Cassin from Spain. Hard lines. Alberto. Sebastian Sheen passes through 1-0 over Sergio Ramos, Portugal. Tight game in the last 8. Carlos Flores and Claudio Latorre from Italy. 5-4 to Flores.
Fuck me.
That would have been one to watch.
Flores concedes, doesn't he?
Oh, aye. But it's all open. Do you know what I mean? Sebastian Sheen goes out to Christophe Durr from Belgium. 2 Belgian boys. Now, this is what we like to see. Semi-final, Carlos Flores against that wanker, Mark Gauci.
7-2. That wanker.
He's a fucking wanker. 7-2 to Carlos. Well done, Carlos. Comes into Savio Barry, goes 2-1 over Christophe Durr, and in the final, tight match, Carlos and Severo, 3-2 to Carlos.
Well done, Carlos.
We have a couple of names here and we know well in the veterans. Aaron Skinner, 3rd place in his group. Guy Palmer, surprisingly, 3rd place in his group as well, although Jason Pisandi from Malta topped that and he's some player. Pascal Sheen, no bother to him, top of the table. Alan Lee comes bottom of the table in that one. Three defeats. Group 5. Okay. The one known name Mr. Bobby V, Bob Varney, 2nd in the group. Played very well that day. Frank Stiller from Germany, 3rd in his group. Darren Clark, 3rd place in his group as well. Mick Hammonds, Wolverhampton megastar, 4th in his group. Hard lines, Mick. Richard Badger, another Wolverhampton star, bottom of his group too. Dave Baxter from Scotland, all the home countries didn't do too well. What do we see? Where Bob won his playoff match 1-0 against Luis Lopez from Spain.
Come on, Bob.
Come on, Bob. Bob Varney then comes up against Massimo Bologna. 2-1. Hard lines, Bob is out the door. But that's not bad. It's still going well.
Well done, Bob.
Daniel Sheen went out in the last 8. De Massimo, yet again. Massimo goes out in the semi-final 5-0 to Fernandino Gasparino from Italy. That's the 2 Italians. And Ferdinando 3-0 over Vincent Prats from Spain in the final. So well done.
Brilliant. Well done, boys.
I don't seem to have the teams. Joe
Well-
Ruby comes second in her group, which is fantastic, which put her straight through to the last 8. But she had a 2-2 draw against Angelo Biscio from Italy, who then won 1-0 in shots.
So that was her goal.
Hard
was,
lines, Ruby.
Goal of the week.
That's her goal of the week.
Brilliant,
There you
Ruby. Well done.
Brilliant.
And sure, we all know who won the team event. Quite easy to work out. The Italians.
The Italia.
Italia. I think the Belgians were second, and did I see France maybe third or something?
France have a good squad. But the
Think it
Belgians,
makes-
the Italians and the Belgians are always going to be up there.
Big time. Different level, isn't it, really? Different fucking
Oh.
level.
That's
What?
what you're up against.
We'll find out when we go to the Europa League. We're going down a level, but we're still going to be at that level. Like,
It'll be tight going. But it'll be good crack. Crack will be fucking nigga.
well,
Over in Belgium, all the boys together.
right, we're going to sign off, but before, well, we're going to leave you with a video diary from our good friend Derry Gurr, who recorded his trip to Derry. So we'll leave you with Derry Gurr, and we'll see you next week.
Just
Keep
almost
on flicking.
like the dairy air. Keep on flicking.
Keep on flicking. Good luck.